Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Gananaham Tva Ganapatigum Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamasravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anas Srinvan Utibhit Siddhasadanam Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinivati Dheenama Vitrayavatu Ganeshaya Namaha Saraswatyai Namaha Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopasantaye Yasya Virada Vaktradhya Parishadhya Parasatam Vignam Nignanti Satatam Vishvaksenam Tamasraye. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheswaraha Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Parasarya Vachas Saroja Mamalam Geethartha Gandhotkatam Nanakyana Kakesaram Harikata Sambodhana Bodhitam Loke Sajjana Shat Padairaharaha Pepiyamanam Muda Bhuyat Bharata Pankajam Kalimala Pradvamsinaha Sreyase. With Bhagavan's grace, we came up to slokam number 14. Sarvata Panipadam Tat Sarvatokshi Siro Mukham Sarvatas Srutimal Loke Sarvam Avritya Tishtati. Slokam number 15. And 16 we'll take together. It shines through the play of the senses. The question comes, if it is present in everything, Avritya Tishtati, the Bhagavan explains how. It shines through the play of the senses, but is devoid of them. It supports everything, but is detached from everything. It has no tendencies and characteristics, but enjoys their play, the play of the tendencies and characteristics. It is present both within and without. It manifests as both animate and inanimate objects. Because of its subtleness, it is difficult to be known. It is far and is also very near. Bhagavan says, I am as far away from you as you think, as far away from you as you are from me. I am as near to you as you are near to me. So Bhagavan is there in all the places at all the time. Sarvendriya Gunabhasam Sarvendriya Vivarjitam Asaktam Sarvabhrit Chaiva Nirgunam Gunabhokrita Cha. Sarvendriya Gunabhasam Sarvendriya Vivarjitam Asaktam Sarvabhrit Chaiva Nirgunam Gunabhokrita Cha. Sarvendriya Gunabhasam Sarvendriya Vivarjitam Asaktam Sarvabhrit Chaiva Nirgunam Gunabhokrita Cha. Padangal are Sarva Indriya Gunabhasam Sarva Indriya Vivarjitam Asaktam Sarvabhrit Cha Eva Nirgunam Gunabhokrita Cha. Sarvendriya Gunabhasam. By operating all the indriyas and all the actions of the various indriyas, not only the action, the indriyas, the senses of perception, but also senses of action, by activating them, the senses of perceptions perceive, senses of action act. So through this activity, through this dynamics, if you would call it, Sarvendriya Vivarjitam. At the same time, not attached to those indriya, not attached to those senses. And really, more than not being attached to them, it's something that does not have any senses. It's without those senses. Asaktam means without being attached to them. Okay. Sarvabhrit cha eva. Sarvabhrit. In Sahasranamam we say, Bhutabhrit, Bhutatma, right? So the Sarvabhrit, something that is bearing, supporting everything, Sarva, everything, Bhrit, supporting, carrying them, bearing them, Sarvabhrit cha eva, Nirgunam, without any attributes. At the same time, Guna Bhoktrut cha, at the same, even though it is attributeless, it enjoys. Bhoktru means somebody that enjoys the various attributes. Okay, and Bhagavan is going to now describe to us in the next adhyayam these various attributes and the interplay among them. It will be very, very interesting. And so, he is the enjoyer of the play of the various attributes. So, even though he is Nirguna. Next slokam, slokam number 16. Bahirantascha bhutanam acharam charamevacha sukshmatvat tad avigneyam durastam cha antike cha tat. Bhagirantascha bhutanam acharam charamevacha sukshmatvat tad avignyenam durastam chantike cha tat. Bahirantascha bhutanam acharam charamevacha sukshmatvat tada vigneyam durastham chantike cha tat. Padangal Bahihi antaha cha bhutanam acharam charam eva cha sukshmatvat tat avigneyam durastham cha antike cha tat. That bhutanam, for all the beings, bahihi antaha cha, bahihi external, outside, antaha inside, internal. So for all the beings, it is present both outside as well as inside. Because for Bhagavan, what is inside and what is outside when he is present everywhere, right? So bahihi antaha cha bhutanam. Not only that, acharam bhutanam acharam charam eva cha. Acharam, something that is not moving, immobile, right? Stationary. And charam, that is always moving. We see this all around us, right? There are things that move and there are things that don't move. But everything is Bhagavan, okay? Acharam charameva cha. Then sukshmatvat, because of its subtlety, it's extremely subtle. It is subtler than the sky. Now, if we can relate to and cognize and touch, let's say the earth. Earth is a little bit more gross, right? But as you go higher and higher, like then you got wind, then you got fire, and then you got all of a sudden you got akasam, right? It's so sukshmam it is, right? So it's even subtler than that. So sukshmatvate, because of its subtlety, what happened? Because it is so subtle, avigneyam, it is not possible to know it. It is very difficult to know it. Okay? And avigneyam, tat, that, durastancha means very far, and antikecha, also very near. How is it possible? Okay, what is distant and what is far is something our mind creates. But if you focus on where you are and what you are, Bhagavan is right there. In Tamil, there is a saying, Irupidam Vaikuntham, where you are, that is where Bhagavan is. And in terms of time, the present is where the Lord is always present. Okay, the past and the future are all our creations. So, Bahirantascha bhutanam acharam charamevacha sukshmatvat tat avigneyam durastham cha antike cha tat. Reading both slokams together now. Sarvendriya gunabhasam sarvendriya vivarjitam asaktam sarvabhrit chaiva nirgunam gunabhokrut cha bhagirantascha bhutanam acharam charameva cha sukshmatvat tat avigneyam durastham chantike cha tat. Slokam number 17. Even though it is the unifying entity among things, It makes them appear disconnected. It creates, supports, and swallows all things. It is that which is to be known. Like you look at flower garland, even though the thread is connecting everything, all the various flowers look different, right? It is like that. So it is that which is to be known. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vidaptamiva cha sthitam bhuta bhartru cha tad jneyam grasishnu prabhavishnu cha. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam iva cha sthitam bhuta bhartru bhutar bhartru cha tad jneyam grasishnu prabhavishnu cha. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam iva cha sthitam bhutar bhartru cha tad jneyam grasishnu prabhavishnu cha. Padangal are avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam iva cha sthitam bhutaha bhartru cha tad jneyam grasishnu prabhavishnu cha. Bhuteshu, in all beings, avibhaktam cha, without separate from them, without being separate from them, avibhaktam cha. Even though it is not separate from all the beings and everything, what does it do? Vibhaktam iva cha sthitam. It appears, it positions itself as if it is different from all the beings, even though there is no difference. Okay, vibhaktam iva cha sthitam. Then bhutaha bhartru cha, bhutaha, all the beings, bhartru, supporting, right? The support, the bearer. Bhutaha, bhuta bhartru, it is supporting all the beings, and not only that, grasishnu. Grasishnu means one that swallows. Okay, it not only supports everything, it's also swallowing everything. Not only that, prabhavishnu cha, it also creates everything. Okay, it creates, protects, and also swallows. Tad jneyam, that is to be known. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam iva cha sthitam bhuta bhartru cha tad jneyam grasishnu prabhavishnu cha. Slokam number 18. It is said to be the light among lights and is beyond darkness. It is knowledge, the thing to be known, and the goal for the path of the knowledge. It resides in the heart of all. Very important. It resides in the heart of all. This is the closest that we can see, we can feel Bhagavan when it says it resides in our heart. Jyotisham api tad jyotihi tamasa param uchyate jnanam jneyam jnanagamyam hrudi sarvasya vishtitam. Jyotisham api tad jyotihi tamasah param uchyate jnanam jneyam jnanagamyam hrudi sarvasya vishtitam. Jyotisham api tad jyotihi tamasah param uchyate jnanam jneyam jnanagamyam hrudi sarvasya vishtitam. Padangal Jyotisham api tat jyotihi tamasah param uchyate jnanam jneyam jnanagamyam hrudi sarvasya vishtitam. Tat jyotihi, that jyotihi, jyotisham api, among all the things that are very bright, that are illumined, that emanate light, right? The jyoti, among all the things that do that, jyotihi, this is the most exalted, most powerful jyoti. There is no other jyoti like this, because this is the one that gives the characters of jyoti to all the things that are bright and illumine themselves, because this is the illumining power. Jyotisham api Jyotihi. Tamasaha. Then, Tamasaha means darkness. Tamasaha also means ignorance. Okay? Tamasaha, param, beyond that, beyond ignorance and beyond darkness. Thus, uchyate, thus it is described. Okay? Then this also comes in Purusha Suktam, as you know, right? Then, Jnanam, this is the knowledge. Jneyam, the thing that to be known. Jnana Gamyam, that means something that is to be obtained through knowledge. All of them is this. Sarvasya, in everything, not only human being, but everything. Hrudi, Hrudayam, Vishtitam, established there. Hrudayam, Hrudaya. Hrudi means Hrudaya. That denotes Daya is nothing but compassion. Compassion is nothing but selfless love. Hrudi means established. So the place where selfless love is established within us, that is our Hridayam. Okay? So that is what Bhagavan says. It is established as Hridayam in all beings. Jyotishamapi tad jyotihi tamasah param uchyate Jnayam Jneyam Jnanagamyam Hrudi Sarvasya Vishtitam. Slokam number 19. Thus, a brief description of Kshetra, knowledge, and that which is to be known has been given. Understanding this well, my devotee becomes qualified to experience me. So we wonder our body, nature, and we know there is a life force that is activating us, and we know it is there. That's what Bhagavan has described. So it's worthwhile reflecting on Bhagavan's teaching. Okay. Number 19. Iti kshetram tata jnanam jneyam choktam samasataha mad bhakta yetat vijnaya mad bhavo yapapadyate. Iti kshetram tata jnanam jneyam choktam samasataha mad bhakta yetat vijnaya mad bhavayopapadyate. Iti kshetram tata jnanam jneyam choktam samasataha mad bhakta yetat vijnaya mad bhavayopapadyate. Padangal are iti kshetram tata jnanam jneyam cha uktam samasataha mad bhakta yetat vijnaya mad bhavaya upapadyate. Iti thus. Kshetram, about Kshetra. The very first question Arjuna asked, Kshetra. Tata, in the same way, Jnanam, about knowledge, right? Cha, and Jneyam cha. And Jneyam means something that is to be known. Samasataha, very briefly, Uktam has been described, has been said. Mat Bhaktaha, my devotee. Bhagavan already talked about Mat Bhaktaha. Same Priyaha, right? Bhagavan has talked about it. If you want to be dear to Bhagavan, you must do as he says. No question, no asking back. Just follow his commands. And then he will say Same Priyaha. Mat Bhaktaha, my devotee, etat, this, Vijnaya, understanding, knowing this well. That means not just intellectually through the mind, but really experiencing it on a personal basis. Where is this Hridayam that Bhagavan is talking about? He says it's established there. And what is happening to the nature, what is the Kshetra Jnana, where is he? We put all this into personal practice, and not very difficult to do actually. And then you start feeling the presence of Bhagavan that is present within us as well as present outside us. Okay, it's the same Bhagavan. So, Mad Bhaktaha etat vijnaya, very important. Mad bhavaya, see, that means he experiences the divinity. Mad bhavaya means basically divine experience, right? Upapadyate means very important. He deserves to be he's qualified to be. He graduates to that level, of awareness, of experience. Okay? And it is not just given just like that, because we've got to vijnaya. We need to understand Bhagavan's teachings, first take them as the truth, have faith in them that they are the truth, and understand them with clarity. And because as we saw earlier, and practicing it without clarity is not good. Understanding with clarity is important. Once you understand with clarity, then you start putting that into practice. And when you put that into practice, then you experience the truth of the statement. First you believe it's the truth, then you know it is the truth through your experience. That vijnaya is what Bhagavan is talking about. When we do that, then upapadhyate, mat bhavaya upapadhyate. We will get divine experiences. We'll be able to touch Bhagavan, embrace him. Many, many things will take place. Iti kshetram tata jnanam jneyam cha uktam samasataha mad bhakta etat vijnaya mad bhavaya upapadhyate. Slokam number 20. Know that both nature and the Purusha are without beginning. Know that all the myriad appearances and characteristics have originated from nature. There is Nara Narayana principle. Bhagavan is now after explaining Nara, which is the Kshetram, Narayanan, the Kshetrajna, and the qualities as the jnani obtains. After talking about all this, then he says, what is the relationship between nature and God, between Purusha and Prakriti, Nara and Narayana? That is what Bhagavan is going to talk about. This is basically the relationship between each one of us to our own indweller. Okay, there's no difference, right? That is Nara and Narayana. It is not an external knowledge, it's an internal knowledge. So Bhagavan is going to explain that right now because Arjuna asked about it, about Purusha and Prakriti. Okay? So now Purusha is no different from Atma, is no different from Kshetrajna. They are all one and the same. Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidyayanadi Ubhavapi Vikaramscha Gunams Chaiva Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavan. Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidyayanadi Ubhavapi Vikaramscha Gunams Chaiva Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavan. Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidyayanadi Ubhavapi Vikaramscha Gunams Chaiva Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavan. Padangal are Prakritim Purusham Cha Eva Vidyayanadi Vidhi Anadi. Okay, Vidhi Anadi Ubhavapi. Ubhavapi is Ubhau api. So Vidhi Anadi Ubhau api. Vikaran cha Gunan cha eva Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavan. Let me go through that again. Prakritim Purusham cha eva Vidhi Anadi Ubhau api. Vikaran cha Gunan cha eva Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavan. Prakritim, the nature what we call it nature. Prakriti is a very Sanskrit word. Kriti means something that is done. By who did it? Pra. Pra denotes Bhagavan, right? Associated with Bhagavan, supreme, the sacred state, that created by him. That is what we call as nature in English. It's actually Prakriti. Prakriti and the Purusha. Purushan cha eva and the Purushan. These two are Ubhau api. These two aspects. Ubhau means two. Api means and. So Prakritim, Purusham, Ubhau api. These two aspects, Purusha and Prakriti. Anadi, without beginning. Both of them are without beginning. Thus, Vidhi, know that. Okay? So, there is no Bhagavan without Bhakta and there is no Bhakta without Bhagavan. They are interrelated. They are one and the same. That is the Naranarayana principle, Purusha Prakriti principle. This goes on time immemorial. Okay, this is beyond time. So Anadi, beyond time, no beginning, Vidhi, thus know that. Vikaran cha eva. Vikaran means Vikaram means difference, modification that takes place, right? So those various appearances, all the various things appear because of modifications and changes, right? All those, the Vikarancha, the various appearances, Gunancha eva, and the various attributes that we see all the time, whether it is laziness or activity or balanced mindset or anger or whatever it is, or misunderstanding. So many things take place all the time. These are all interplay of attributes, the various basic three attributes that we will see in the next adhyayam. That Bhagavan will teach us that. So these things go on, various appearances and the interplay of the attributes that keeps on happening. Where is it coming from? Bhagavan says, Prakriti Sambhavan. They all originate and they're all born only from Prakriti, only from nature, not from Bhagavan. That's why Bhagavan remains untouched. Purusha remains as a witness. Okay? So this is a very important concept. It is described in Vedas and everywhere, and Bhagavan is also teaching us with his personally, on a very personal basis, he is giving us that same lesson. Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidhayanadi Ubhavapi Vikaramscha Gunam Chaiva Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavan. Now, next one we will take up Bhagavan's case tomorrow, because he is going to talk about how various things take place and all that. Okay. With his grace, let's conclude today. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om.